I am an old man, and I have said this multiple times rather jokingly, but honestly, at the age of 41, with the disease, I feel massively old. And yes, I just recently got a haircut and a trim, so yes, AI verifiers, you're gonna have to work on that. Just know that I'm the same person. But anyway, the Game Awards last night, or as I like to call it, the Expedition 33 Fellatio session, did have plenty of other things going on. It had stupid Muppet skits and other things of that nature, and plenty of game reveals. A lot of them with games that we already knew were kind of existing. Yeah, there were a couple of shockers out there. But the main subject of the video is the one that I found the most surprising. And no, it's not Fate of the Empire, although that is pretty damn surprising that we're going to get essentially a KOTOR 3 in a lifetime. That's not an MMO. That could be its own subject for its own video. Coming as a non-Star Wars fan talking about the only Star Wars games I ever fucking cared about. But anyway, if you know me, and if you follow me on social media, if you're a friend on social media, if I'm in your Twitch streams, you know one thing irreversibly about me. There is one game, one series that I don't talk about here. And I've actually gotten pushback to the fact that I don't. What is that series? It's Mega Man. And last night, they revealed a new Mega Man. The 12th mainline classic game, Dual Override, which is naturally a continuation of the concepts of the double gear system introduced in Mega Man 11. So, Mega Man continues its tradition of introducing the concept in one game and taking it even further beyond in the next. But until we find out more information about how that works, that's just me speculating and using my over 38 years of experience and way too many hours playing way too many Mega Man games as the basis for my speculation. How many Mega Man games have I played? If I were to put a finger on it, at least about 40 or so. Yeah, I played all the spin-offs, and yeah, I own all the classic stuff. Yes, it's mainly through the Capcom collections that Capcom has been gracious enough for me to pry open my wallet like a willing prostitute on Tinder. Yes, Capcom knows how to easily get my money, and I thank them for it. Why? Because they are one of the few companies left in the industry that chooses quality and fan demand over a quick buck. And yes, I know, this is the same company that used Mega Man in my growing up years to get a quick buck. So the irony here cannot be understated. But why do I not talk about Mega Man more? If Mega Man's my favorite series ever, and I could basically spend a whole arias of opera talking about a great this series is, why do I not? It's because I, actually being a reviewer of things, have an integrity problem. An integrity problem that other reviewers in space don't seem to grapple with that much. Yes, I have a biasy problem. And not because I don't think I have biases or that I don't like biases. No, my biasy problem is simply as a creator, I have this fundamental desire, this fundamental need, this almost ADD obsession, not to use my biases for content, to get views, because I am a biased fanboy. Everyone has fanboyism over something, biases over something. Everyone does. I do. I just decide on an additional level, when it comes to this YouTube channel, not to use it ever. And when it comes to Mega Man, there's no one more biased franchise thing in my life. There is no objectivity when it comes to Mega Man. There is not even subjectivity when it comes to Mega Man. For me, it is flat out. I will play them all. I will buy them all. Quality be damned. I was the guy for my 21st birthday that willingly, with my own money and my PS2 and my heart of hearts, bought Mega Man X7, yes, that game, with a smile on my face, and struggled and pushed through the bad level design, horrible controls, and the worst voice acting I had ever heard in a game unintentionally to 100% it. Willingly. And did it with a smile on my face. Why? Because it had Mega Man on the box. And for me, that's all it takes. Yes, I understand. There are levels to Mega Man's quality. Trust me, I played Mega Man Soccer. I know how bad that game is. Hell, I watched General Andrews. Check out his streams every other day. He's a cool retro streamer. You should watch him. He plays Mega Man a lot. He loves Earthbound, and he loves making fan-generated music without the use of AI. He deserves your support on Twitch. Twitch.tv/General Andrews. Yes, that's a plug for a buddy of mine. And I even watched him play Mega Man Soccer. To aggravation. So trust me, I played and seen Mega Man at its absolute best and witnessed it at its absolute worst. And also witnessed it at its absolute dead. Twice. And yet I'm still here. Yet, what was my reaction to the trailer last night? Utter disbelief. Why? Why would I have utter disbelief when Capcom's been re-releasing Okami with a new game, and Unamusha with a new game, and Resident Evil is greater than ever, and they're making weird things like Exoprimal and Pragmata? Why wouldn't I believe, especially with the retro Mega Man collections coming out every other year, that the Blue Bomber would eventually return again? It's because us Mega Man fans live with this aspect that back in the 1980s, it used to be every year on the year. It used to be a guarantee. For about a good 25-year stretch, you could count on a Mega Man game as the sun rising and setting and the moon doing the same. It's a guarantee. You could almost bank on it. And then all of a sudden, without warning, but with proper pretense, it stopped. It just stopped dead cold until 2010, when all of a sudden, for a minute, came back again. And not only came back again, but came back again in a way that literally brought me to tears. On the start screen. And trust me, if you are a Mega Man 2 child, which I am, you might have had that experience. Hearing that same music 30 years into your future, that same instrumental being played back to your face. But it was something new. It was literally the nostalgic moment of having your childhood handed back to you on a silver platter to say, eat it again. The way you remember eating it, the way that's burned into your brain so much that you hate the notion of the fucking slide. Yes, I hate the slide. I don't hate the charge shot because that's logical. I hate the slide. It ruins level design for the sake of speed. And it ruins boss fights because you basically don't have to remember patterns or properly jump. See, I made a criticism there about my favorite series. Like, do it. But Mega Man 9 and 10 were performative games. They were games made in the retro aesthetic, the games I grew up on. Games that I ate up like an all-you-can-eat buffet at a Golden Corral. 10 was easier though, and not just because of the easy mode. But you could feel with 10 that this was an end of an era. And we had no idea if there'd ever be a beginning of a new one. And that is the plight of the Mega Man fan. Whenever we think the Blue Bomber is dead, a relic of video game past like other series, we think he can't rise again, and yet he always inevitably does. So why the pessimism? It's because every time Capcom says, this is the beginning of a new era for the Blue Bomber, you'll see him many more times in the coming years. You'll get that one game. And then you'll get routes like this. Mega Man 10 comes out in 2010. It takes a full 8 years for the Blue Bomber to rise again. And the only reason he rises again is because they tested us when they sold us the old content and we bought it. We bought it all. So he rose again. Mega Man 11 comes out. Has the greatest initial sales of a new Mega Man game since, well, Mega Man 2. But yet, in terms of new Mega Man content, he's been asleep again for the last 9 years. But yet, even with all the pessimism in the world and all the feelings that this time, he was going to stay in the grave and stay there. Because that's what happens in this high-priced $1 million arms race for graphical fidelity as companies go bankrupt. But yet Capcom has managed to meet the challenge of this. Street Fighter 6, 3 Monster Hunter games, all of the Resident Evil remakes and new stuff. Capcom has not made a failure of a video game in 8 years, and yet sprinkled in between all that would be reminders to me that the Blue Bomber is still out here. There is a heartbeat ticking. Quiet, but ticking. But last night at the Game Awards, to an instrumental version done by full orchestra of a song that I can't stand, the lightning bolt hits the grave, and he's alive again. Yes, I will have to wait a whole year to give Capcom my $50, and I will do it with gracious and happy aplomb. I will probably shed a tear when I click that Xbox Square. But I will do it with glee because I love this series. This series defines my life. I can't believe it's back. I'm going to be 44 by the time this game arises. 44. I've been playing Mega Man since I was 3 years old. For the last 40 years of my life, this character, this game, this type of game has irreversibly fucked with the way that I judge, make, and desire good games. And yet, the lightning bolt has struck. The world needs him again. And for the millionth time already, I'll be the one to welcome him home with a smile on my face. So yes, with bias in my soul and with the inability to criticize the fuck out of it, I am going to do the one thing that modern gamers don't do. I'm going to sit here in 2027 and I'm going to shut up and buy my game and be thankful that Capcom, even now, 40 years after the fact, still gives a fuck about me, about us. But please, Capcom, don't wait 9 years for the lightning bolt to strike again. Because we might not be here in our 50s. Let this finally be the beginning of the new era. And if you put this game on RE Engine and it still works, you have made the unbeatable engine. So I'll be playing it in 2027. I'll be buying it in 2027. I might be buying it more than once in 2027. But you're damn right. We're back. And we deserve this. But please, I know the next number is 13. But let's see if Mega Man is lucky enough to beat that lucky number rap, or maybe, just maybe, you might just skip the problem and add another variable of X. Hint, hint. Nudge, nudge. The Game Awards was a celebration of why I love the French. But it was also a celebration of why I love Capcom. May the world always need you, Mega Man, and may my childhood never truly die.